Montenegrin ( ɛmɛntɪʻniːɡrɪn) is the standardized variety of the Serbo-Croatian language used as the official language of Montenegro. Standard Montenegrin is based on the most widespread dialect of Serbo-Croatian, Shtokavian, more specifically on Eastern Herzegovinian, which is also the basis of Standard Croatian, Serbian, and Bosnian. Montenegro's language has historically and traditionally been called Serbian. The idea of a Montenegrin standard language separate from Serbian appeared in the 2000s after Serbia and Montenegro broke up, via proponents of Montenegrin independence. Montenegrin became the official language of Montenegro with the ratification of a new constitution on the 22nd of October 2007. The Montenegrin standard is still emerging. Its orthography was established on the 10th of July 2009 with the addition of 2 letters to the alphabet, although the grammar and a school curriculum are yet to be approved. Language standardization. In January 2008, the government of Montenegro formed the Council for the Codification of the Montenegrin Language, which aims to standardize the Montenegrin language according to international norms. Preceding documents will, after verification, become a part of the educational program in Montenegrin schools. The first Montenegrin standard was officially proposed in July 2009. In addition to the Serbo-Croatian standard, the proposal introduced 2 additional letters, S and Z, to replace the digraphs SJ and ZJ. The Ministry of Education has accepted neither of the 2 drafts by the Council for the Standardization of the Montenegrin language, but instead adopted an alternate third one which was not a part of the work. The Council has criticized this act, saying it comes from a small group and that it contains an abundance of methodological, conceptual and linguistic errors. On the 21st of June 2010, the Council for General Education adopted the first Montenegrin grammar. So far, only the website of the Montenegrin Parliament uses the letters S and Z. The websites of the Montenegrin President and Montenegrin government still use the old orthography. Official status and speakers' preference. The language remains an ongoing issue in Montenegro. In the previous census of 1991, the vast majority of Montenegrin citizens, 510,320 or 82.97%, declared themselves speakers of their then official language, Serbo-Croatian. The 1981 population census also recorded a Serbo-Croatian speaking majority. However, in the first communist censuses, the vast majority of the population declared Serbian the native language. Such is also the case with the first recorded population census in Montenegro in 1909, when approximately 95% of the population of the Principality of Montenegro declared Serbian the native language. According to the Constitution of Montenegro, the official language of the Republic since 1992 is Serbian of the Shtokavian standard. After World War II and until 1992, the official language of Montenegro was Serbo-Croatian. Before that, in the previous Montenegrin realm, the language in use was called Serbian. The Serbian language was the officially used language in Communist Montenegro until after the 1950 Novi Sad Agreement, and Serbo-Croatian was introduced into the Constitution of the Socialist Republic of Montenegro in 1974. In the late 1990s and early 21st century, organizations promoting Montenegrin as a distinct language appeared, and since 2004 the Democratic Party of Socialists of Montenegro regime introduced the term to usage. The new constitution, adopted on the 19th of October 2007, deemed Montenegrin to be the official language of Montenegro. The most recent population census conducted in Montenegro was in 2011. According to it, 36.97% of the population declared Montenegrin the native language, and 42.88% declared Serbian the native language. Mijit Sukovic, a prominent Montenegrin lawyer, wrote a draft version of the constitution which passed the parliament's constitutional committee. Sukovic suggested Montenegrin as the official language of Montenegro. The Venice Commission, an advisory body of the Council of Europe, had a generally positive attitude towards the draft of the constitution but did not address the language and church issues, calling them symbolic. The new constitution was ratified on 19 October 2007, declaring Montenegrin as the official language of Montenegro, as well as recognizing Albanian, Bosnian, Croatian and Serbian. The ruling Democratic Party of Socialists of Montenegro and Social Democratic Party of Montenegro stand for nothing but plainly renaming the country's official language into Montenegrin, meeting opposition from the Socialist People's Party of Montenegro, the People's Party, the Democratic Serb Party, the Bosniak Party, the Movement for Changes as well as the Serb List coalition led by the Serb People's Party. However, a referendum was not needed, as a two-thirds majority of the parliament voted for the constitution, including the ruling coalition, Movement for Changes, the Bosniaks and the Liberals, while the pro-Serbian parties voted against it and the Albanian minority parties abstained from voting. The constitution was ratified and adopted on 19 October 2007, recognizing Montenegrin as the official language of Montenegro. According to a poll of 1,001 Montenegrin citizens conducted by ɛmʒntɪʻniːɡrɪn in 2014, linguistic demographics were 41.1% Montenegrin, 39.1% Serbian, 12.3% Serbian-Montenegrin, Bosnian, Croatian and Serbo-Croatian are one and the same. 3.9% Serbo-Croatian, 1.9% Bosnian, 1.7% Croatian. Note that not only Montenegrins by ethnicity declare Montenegrin as their native language. According to the 2011 census, other ethnic groups in Montenegro have also declared their language Montenegrin by a certain percentage. Most openly, Matica Muslimanska called on Muslims living in Montenegro to name their native language as Montenegrin. Linguistic considerations. Montenegrins speak Shtokavian subdialects of Serbo-Croatian, some which are shared with the neighboring Slavic nations. Eastern Herzegovinian dialect. Zeta South Sandak dialect. Montenegrin alphabet. The proponents of the separate Montenegrin language prefer using the Latin alphabet over the Cyrillic alphabet. In both alphabets there are two additional letters, which are easier to render in the Latin alphabet due to their existence in Polish, but which must be created ad hoc when using Cyrillic. Grammar. Language politics. Most mainstream politicians and other proponents of the Montenegrin language state that the issue is chiefly one of self-determination and the people's right to call the language what they want, rather than an attempt to artificially create a new language when there is none. The declaration of the Montenegrin Pen Center states that the Montenegrin language does not mean a systemically separate language, but just one of four names by which Montenegrins name the part of Shtokavian system commonly inherited with Muslims, Serbs and Croats. The introduction of the Montenegrin language has been supported by other important academic institutions such as the ɛmʒntɪʻniːɡrɪn, although meeting opposition from the Montenegrin Academy of Sciences and Arts. Some proponents go further. The chief proponent of Montenegrin is Zagreb-educated Dr. Vojislav Nikčević, professor at the Department of Language and Literature at the University of Montenegro and the head of the Institute for Montenegrin Language in the capital Podgorica. His dictionaries and grammars were printed by Croatian publishers, since the major Montenegrin publishing houses such as Obor and Setonj opted for the official nomenclature specified in the constitution. Nikšić advocates amending the Latin alphabet with 3 letters, and corresponding Cyrillic letters, and opponents acknowledge that these sounds can be heard by many Montenegrin speakers. However, they do not form a language system and thus are allophones rather than phonemes. In addition, there are speakers in Montenegro who do not utter them, and speakers of Serbian and Croatian outside of Montenegro who do. In addition, introduction of those letters could pose significant technical difficulties. Montenegro's current Prime Minister Milo Đukanović declared his open support for the formalization of the Montenegrin language by declaring himself as a speaker of Montenegrin in an October 2004 interview with Belgrade daily Politica. Official Montenegrin government communiques are given in English and Montenegrin on the government's web page. The official web page of the President of Montenegro states that it is written in the Montenegrin Serbian version. In 2004, the government of Montenegro changed the school curriculum so that the name of the mandatory classes teaching the language was changed from Serbian language to mother tongue. This change was made, according to the government, in order to better reflect the diversity of languages spoken among citizens in the Republic and to protect human rights of non-Serb citizens in Montenegro who declare themselves as speakers of other languages. This decision resulted in a number of teachers declaring a strike and parents refusing to send their children to schools. The cities affected by the strike included Nikšić, Podgorica, Bahrain, Pljevlja and Herceg Novi.